Okay, we are going to go through the homeostasis chart for the lymphatic system. And make sure you're on the side with your name. And we're going to go and start with the integumentary system. So the lymphatic system and the integumentary system do interact because the lymphatic system provides antibodies that actually do get secreted onto the surfaces of the integument. We all know that there's bacteria on the surface of our skin, but we also do have antibodies that go and attack those antigens that are on the surface. The next one is the nervous system, and the lymphatic system provides control, or it does affect the production of certain releasing hormones that are in the hypothalamus. So, depending on the state of the organism, in other words, us, the hypothalamus will either secrete or not secrete certain hormones that will continue the production of other hormones in the endocrine system. With the skeletal system, it assists in the bone repair after injuries. Oftentimes, especially if there's an open fracture rather than a closed fracture, you do need some help with the potential introduction of pathogens into the break area. Even if it's a closed fracture, the phagocytes are obviously there to help destroy cells that are damaged beyond any sort of repair. With the muscular system, again, it's going to assist in the repair of those muscle cells, especially skeletal muscle cells after injuries. Smooth and cardiac muscle, keep in mind, we don't fix. They're not fixable in terms of, regrowing new muscle tissue. Once we've damaged it and destroyed it, that actually becomes a big problem, especially with our cardiac muscle. With the endocrine system, the lymphatic system helps to increase and provide the release of thymosins from the thymus, which we talked about last unit with the endocrine system. With the cardiovascular system, we have two ways that they interact. Number one, obviously, it's going to fight infections in the organs. We have that filtering of the lymph before it reaches the bloodstream again. And it also helps to return the fluid to the bloodstream. If we didn't have that fluid volume re-added back into our blood, we'd never be able to stay hydrated. So that recycling of the fluid is actually really, really important. With the respiratory system, we have those tonsils and that help protect the respiratory tract. There are also other, like the mast cells that we had, that are in the alveoli, that in case something does get down into the lungs, there's certain immune cells that are down in there in those deep tissues that can help provide protection as well. With the digestive system, we have defenses against infection through our stomach acid, as well as the toxins that we can get absorbed from the digestive tract, so our liver provides that. With the urinary system, we do have some very specific defenses against certain types of urinary tract infections. And this is an area where actually we are pretty active, just because this is an area that does tend to get exposed to a lot of bacteria. And finally, with the reproductive system, there are antibodies that the glands of the reproduction system actually create and secrete to help protect the linings of the male and female reproductive tracts from infection. Again, because we can oftentimes get bacteria and other substances introduced into these areas pretty easily, we have to have some sort of way to defend that, otherwise we wouldn't be able to reproduce. So these glands and the antibodies that they produce are actually pretty critical.